But the reality is that we have restraints. We just do. We've always had them. I've said this from the very beginning, that this mission is unsustainable. Local municipalities are not designed to deal with an international global crisis, particularly as it relates to migrants and asylum seekers.
1980, which of course should have been changed a long time ago. So they bring them in, you wonder where the money coming from. They taking it, the COVID fund that was here, that money. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rent, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million out of our taxes to house and take care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of they were here after August, they don't even qualify. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk. And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back. So now,
I got a question for you. Who did you vote for?
First of all, wait, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. I did.
Okay,
but here it is.
Hold on.
Wait,
that was the question.
Okay.
Now you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Okay, well, let me say, hold up. First of all, let me say.
Okay, so there's a measles outbreak among the illegal immigrants in Chicago. Who would have known? So I got a lot of issues with what the hell is going on up there, but I'm going to get to that in a second. There have been about 15 people, I think the count as of today, as of right now anyways, there were 15 people, adults and children, who've been diagnosed. There were children who were going to public schools in Chicago with American citizens, illegal immigrant children with measles in public schools with American children. But they're trying to downplay it, trying to act like, oh, it's no big deal, everything's good, it's all kosher. 40,000 illegal immigrants have hit Chicago. Most of them are still there getting freebies, getting all types of good stuff from Brandon, even though Brandon Johnson is trying to get rid of them. And as I said before, he's been trying his best to minimize spending, trying to make it a little harsher for them, to incentivize them to leave or to get a job under the table or something so they don't have to pay for it. But as of now, they're still receiving a ton of freebies from the city. So let's look at this news clip. It's going to talk about the evictions going on. They're evicting people from the shelters after 30 days. If they have children, they can stay for up to 90 days. But they're evicting the people from the shelters, kicking them out into the Chicago coldness and kicking them out of their luxury hotels and saying, hey, look, go find something else to do with your life, something that we don't have to pay for. And also they're going to cover the topic at hand right now, the measles outbreak. So let's see what the hell these Democrats have to say about this whole thing.
The city will not evict thousands of migrants from city-run shelters tomorrow, as was the previous plan.
This as a measles outbreak where most of the cases are traced back to the city's largest migrant shelter continues. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza has the latest details on this new plan from the city's landing zone. Sabrina.
Erica, the city says this change is a testament to their commitment to an ongoing, evolving crisis. Now, anybody who's been staying at the Pilsen shelter will not have to leave that shelter for at least the 21-day quarantine they think will help contain the spread of measles. There are 30 people who are staying across the city's other shelters that received notice today that they will have to pack up their things and move out by Sunday.
Those who are expected to leave the city-run migrant shelters will have to find their own way back to the city's landing zone should they decide to reapply for a bed within the city's network. There are many exceptions to this new rule the city announced today. In light of bed availability, families in shelter will receive up to 3 30-day extensions, which keeps families with children in the same place up until the end of the school year. Asylum seekers can also apply for extensions if they are in the process of securing permanent housing and can show proof of that process. For mental health reasons, they can apply disability, pregnancy, or for another medically based reason. That includes quarantine, which applies to those in the Pilsen shelter, where 10 of the 12 measles cases detected in the city of Chicago have been traced back to. All new arrivals just getting to the city will also now be required to get the measles vaccine before moving in to city-run shelters. We sat down with the city's top doctor to find out why she believes this new plan might put an end to the outbreak.
Our priority right now is to safeguard the health of the new arrivals. So while people are still in that interim phase before the vaccine becomes fully effective, we want to keep them in quarantine so that they are not exposed to more measles cases and get sick.
And coming up on the CBS 2 News at 5 p.m., we're breaking down just how many asylum seekers can expect to have to move out of shelters by the end of the month and what happens to them after they're no longer able to stay in city shelters. We're live.
So, like I said, I got a lot of issues with this whole thing. I got a lot of beef because where's the panic? Where's the shutdown? Where's the school closures and all of that going on? Because measles, if you look at the numbers, measles has the same death rate, roughly the same death rate as C-19 does in children. But when we had C-19 going on, they were closed schools for years. The learning loss, the suicide rate, all of that, horrific right now. Because these leftists decided to use fear-mongering to gain political power, to say, hey, look, it's Trump's fault. Children are dying. We need to close the school. It's Trump's fault. All of that. Because if it was truly such a scare and we need to take all these drastic measures, where's all the actions right now? Let's look at this excerpt from NBC News. This is talking about one of the children who was going to one of the elementary schools and come to find out that they've been exposing their classmates with measles. The young child who was hospitalized attends Philip D. Armour Elementary School, a public school. The health department advised school-age shelter residents not to attend school on Friday or Monday. Once a student's vaccination status has been verified, students with confirmation vaccines will be notified of the date to return to school, Pedro Martinez, the CEO of Chicago Public Schools, said in a letter to families on Monday. You sent out a letter to these families. This is insane. You're just downplaying it. Oh, we just need to verify their vaccine status. Really? Don't you make students, normal, everyday Chicago students, don't you guys make them get MMR vaccines? Give them a 30-day notice, just tell the parents, look, your kid can't come to school this school year because they are behind on their vaccines, their childhood vaccines. They're 6 months behind on this vaccine, that vaccine, so they can't come to school. But you let people from around the world just come across the border. We don't know who the hell they are, what they've been into, what they've been exposed to, and you just bring them up. Just send them into the schools. The school system said it is working with the health department to respond to the possible measles exposure. This is a damn shame, man. Doing a C-19 thing, if you even coughed around a person, they held up a crucifix to you. They act like you had the damn plague or something. But we have a measles outbreak of foreign nationals. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Just don't go to school on Fridays. Take a couple of days off of school. You're all good. You're all gravy. And we're going to make sure you get vaccinated. Why weren't they vaccinated before? If everyday American citizens, if all of these kids have to be vaccinated, why didn't these anchor babies and these illegal immigrant children have to get vaccinated? What the hell is going on? And in some extreme cases, some counties, some cities, and mainly in California, they were trying to force the C-19 vaccine into children, which it worked. Actually, a lot of them end up getting it. Trying to force the C-19 vaccine into children so they can pay Big Pharma just for them to go to school. But illegal immigrants come across nothing. No requirements. They don't have to be citizens. They don't have to be paying taxes. They don't even need to buy shoes and school supplies because the city gives everything to them. They don't need C-19 vaccines. They don't need to be checked. They don't need MMR. They don't need any of those vaccines. Just push them into the schools because you got new voters. You need to appease these new voters. Bring them in, give them all types of free stuff, and send them to the schools so they can infect the other children. And then when something happens, no, it's all good. It's all good. Measles is cool. It's no big deal. Don't panic because we're not in an election year. Y'all don't need to panic. Donald Trump is not the president. Therefore, you shouldn't panic. See, if we had another disease with an extremely low death rate and Donald Trump was the president, we'll put a death ticker on the screen so you can see how many people allegedly died from the virus. But since Biden is the president and the Democrats have a bigger agenda, we're just going to downplay this. Oh, no big deal. And they said, oh, we got the CDC on charge of that. Who the hell cares about the CDC? The CDC's credibility is shot. If there's an outbreak at the school and I see a CDC official coming up, I'm running. You're going to make this worse. I don't trust you guys. You and all of those people who are associated with Fauci. But this whole thing is insane because, again, where is the panic? Roughly the same death rate. Why isn't the school shut down? Why aren't you saying, oh, shelter at home? We're going to send them home with notebooks. We're going to send them home with computers so they can do some virtual learning. They can practice band class with pots and pans. They can dance like idiots in front of the computer screen, which is what we made them do during the shutdown. We can have the teachers union getting political favors from the Democrat Party because they don't want to go to work. What happened to all of that? I guess it's over now because Trump isn't the president. Completely ridiculous. And you guys remember they were forcing babies to wear masks on planes? They're crying. They can't breathe well, having a mask on their face. They feel all stuffed up. And a flight attendant said, well, you better. This plane won't take off until you smother your baby with a piece of dirty cloth. Even though that dirty cloth doesn't work, we want to fearmonger because Trump is the president. Remember, we need to keep this fear going. So I need you to smother your infant child because we might all die. But now you're going to bring illegals from all over the world and just send them in there, spreading disease. And when the disease spreads so much, you can't lie and cover it up anymore. You try to act like, oh, it's no big deal. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave me your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.